honored and grateful for his mentorship. I would like also to acknowledge the presence of my family, friends, and colleagues who are joining us today to support me. The content of this defense will start with introduction, then research, framework, and previous studies. Methodology and findings will follow. Finally, the key conclusions and recommendations will be provided. Introduction. The research mainly focuses on examining the impact of dynamic capabilities on digital transformation and exploring the mediating role of change management in the digital transformation within the Yemeni telecom sector. To achieve all objectives, a quantitative approach was adopted. A sample of 316 were surveyed. Data were analyzed using PLSM. Key findings were the significance of dynamic capabilities and change management on digital transformation in the Yemeni telecom sector. We'll start with background of the study. Digital transformation helps organizations maintain their competitive advantages. It allows organizations to change business models at a lower cost, increase process efficiency, and create new business revenue streams. Having said that, digital transformation must be allied with strategy. Strategy is a main driver and a key pillar of digital transformation. It guides stakeholders towards successful transformation. However, traditional strategic management is invalid in dynamic environments such as emerging technologies. Dynamic capabilities theory, which is emerging from strategic management, help organizations respond to changes in the dynamic environment. Nevertheless, dynamic capabilities lack a structured change management model to support digital transformation. That is why change management approach is essential for digital transformation to ensure stakeholders' engagement and overcome resistance. In the case of the Yemeni telecom sector, there were several drivers for digital transformation. First driver is the digital gap in Yemen telecom sector. Yemen telecom sector is considered as the digital infrastructure of the country. Yemen is considered as digitally immature country according to the Global Index. Second driver is the OTT shift for basic services, over-the-top applications. Voice calls and messages are shifting to applications such as WhatsApp and Telegram. The telecom sector in Yemen faces challenges and revenue decrease due to the shift to OTT application. Third driver is the business model reinvention. Before we explore the problem statement, let's consider these alarming facts. First one, 70% of digital transformations fail all around the world. Resistance to change plays a significant role, contributing to 39% of these failures. Even for the 30% that succeeded, 66% reported insignificant improvements after their transformations. Furthermore, Yemen ranks near the bottom of the Global Innovation Index at 131 out of 132 countries, according to the World Intellectual Property Organization report, which highlights the country's digital divide. Here in this slide, problem statement can be grouped into the following 4 aspects. There is a need for companies in the Yemeni telecom sector for digital transformation. Furthermore, there is a lack of strategic, focused initiatives. Therefore, dynamic capabilities are crucial for digital transformation. In addition, a structured framework support building dynamic capabilities for the implementing of digital transformation is imperative. Finally, there is a gap in literature where no previous study has determined how the combination of dynamic capabilities and change management affect digital transformation. To address the gaps mentioned in the problem statement, 6 research questions were developed as in the slides from question 1 to question 6. The research has theoretical and practical significance. From theoretical perspective, the main significance was the combination of the 3 variables in one study. From practical perspective, revealing the reasons behind unsuccessful transformation was a key significance of the research. Previous studies, over 180 studies were reviewed for this research, with 13% originating from Yemen. The review also included researchers from diverse regions such as the United States, 17%, Europe, 24%, Arab countries, 8%, and East Asia, 8%. The majority of studies were in English, and only 17 studies were in Arabic language. 77% of previous studies were published in academic journals, while the remaining 23 comprised books, theses, dissertations, and reports. This slide shows the count of studies per each variable and also the relationship among variables as in the intersection of circles. 38 studies for digital transformation, 20 for dynamic capabilities, and 19 for change management. 26 studies for digital transformation and dynamic capabilities, 21 for both digital transformation and change management, 10 for dynamic capabilities and change management, only 2 studies for the 3 variables altogether. For the Yemeni telecom sector, there were 13 studies. 3 foundational theories served as the basis for the conceptual model framework of this research. First theory is the diffusion of innovations theory. Second one is dynamic capabilities theory. The third one is a model for change management by Cotter called Cotter's 8-step model. On the basis of the mentioned theories and the extant literature, the conceptual framework of the research was developed as in the slide, which comprises the research variables, their dimensions, and the relationship between them. 5 hypotheses with their sub-hypotheses were developed to address the research questions as follows, each of which was pertained from previous studies. Methodology. Regarding the approach, the research adopted a quantitative approach with analytical and deductive methods. Sample size was 316 respondents. Data were collected using through questionnaires. Partially square structure equation modeling was used to assess the measurement model, the structure model, and also used in hypothesis testing. These are the tools that were used to analyze the data: Microsoft Excel, IBM SPSS, and Smart PLS. Findings. Regarding data cleaning, a total of 400 questionnaires were distributed, combined by a link to an online version of the survey. 393 questionnaires were collected, comprising both papers and online formats. After excluding 22 incomplete responses and 36 responses with extreme values, the final sample for analysis consisted of 335 valid responses ready for analysis. Regarding respondent demographics, 94% were males and only 6% were females. 68% of the respondents held bachelor degree. PTC and Sabaphone were in top of companies in terms of number of respondents. The majority of respondents held supervisory positions, around half of the respondents. Descriptive statistics revealed that digital transformations has the highest mean score, while change management had the lowest mean score. Dynamic capabilities were in between. Findings for the measurement model assessment, reflective and formative, indicated strong reliability and consistency, with all indicators falling within acceptable threshold. The assessment of the structural model assessment demonstrate its strong fit and ability to accurately represent the research, the relationship among the variables of the research. We come now to hypothesis testing. Hypothesis H1 and its sub-hypotheses were supported. This means that there is a significant impact of dynamic capabilities on digital transformation in the Yemeni telecom sector. Hypothesis H2 and the sub-hypotheses were also supported, which means that there is a significant impact of dynamic capabilities on change management. Hypothesis H3 and the sub-hypotheses, except for H3B, were supported, which means that there is a significant impact of change management on digital transformation in the Yemeni telecom sector. Hypothesis H4 was also supported, which means that change management has a significant mediating role in the relationship between dynamic capabilities and change and digital transformation. Regarding H5, the first sub-hypothesis, H5A, was significant. This means that there are significant differences in the respondents' answers that can be attributed to the ownership of the company. However, H5B was not supported. This means that there are no significant differences in the respondents' answers that can be attributed to the company age. Main findings: the study confirms the significant positive relationship between dynamic capabilities and digital transformation, further supported by change management. A partial mediation effect was observed, highlighting the crucial role of change management in facilitating the impact of dynamic capabilities on the digital transformation. Discussion and conclusion. First conclusion: key determinants of digital transformation include business model, processes, human resource, culture, and technology. Second one: while some progress has been made in business model reinvention, the Yemeni telecom sector faces challenges in optimizing processes, generating revenue from new digital services, and overcoming cultural barriers to successful digital transformation. 3, while telecom companies have utilized dynamic capabilities, the sector demonstrates a need for enhanced capabilities to sense and acquire new technologies. 4, change management practices show moderate effectiveness but are hindered by insufficient implementation, sustainability, and the lack of a defined change management model. Last one, dynamic capabilities and effective change management are key drivers of successful digital transformation in the Yemeni telecom sector. Recommendations: the Yemeni telecom leaders are advised to embrace agility in their digital transformation, leverage emerging technologies for operational efficiency, re-evaluate internet cost structure with the BTC, develop market capturing capabilities, implement performance-based incentives for employees, adopt a structured change management model, and continuously adapt to the evolving digital landscape. The research contributions on the theoretical perspective as follows: it enriches understanding of dynamic capabilities and change and digital transformation. Also, it confirms the link between dynamic capabilities and digital transformation success. It highlights the mediating role of change management and explores the importance of effective change management for successful digital transformation. On practical perspective, it provides a guidance to digital transformation for leaders. In addition, it provides emphasis of dynamic capabilities. It also focuses on research and development and agile approaches. Last but not least, it recommends securing funds and making swift decisions and addressing change resistance. The research has limitations that can be turned into future research directions. Limitations are the limited scope of respondents, the focus on telecom sector only, limited exploration of change management models, only one model, lack of consideration for digital maturity. Therefore, it's advised that future research incorporate digital maturity, consider companies' differences, expand scope to include all digital service providers, explore and determine the specific dynamic capabilities required. Finally, develop a roadmap or practical guidance for implementing digital transformation. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your questions. بالعربي أنا آسف بس هو هكذا. عنوان هذه الدراسة: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. الدراسة موسومة بعنوان أثر القدرات الديناميكية على التحول الرقمي، وأيضا الدور الوسيط لإدارة التغيير في قطاع الاتصالات اليمني. هدفت الدراسة إلى تقييم أثر القدرات الديناميكية